Welcome to the Empowerment Zone with Ramona Houston, where we zone in on Black and Brown relations and our journey to empowering our communities.
Let's finish strong. Vote Rafael Warnock and John Ossoff for U.S. Senate in the Georgia runoff election. In November, African Americans and Latino Americans voted and made an impact. Our communities redirected the course of this country by electing Joe Biden for president and Kamala Harris for vice president. Our vote matters. Our work, however, is not over. Now there is a runoff election for 2 U.S. Senate seats in Georgia, so our vote counts more than ever. We must stay intentional and focused on our goal of moving America forward. And our full participation in the Georgia runoff election is critical. We must vote for Rafael Warnock and John Ossoff for U.S. Senate. As we have seen during the Obama administration and during the last 4 years, the Senate holds tremendous power in determining what gets done in Congress. And as we have witnessed, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked Obama's agenda in an attempt to impede his success. And beyond confirming conservative, unqualified judges, Senator McConnell has prevented legislation from being passed over the last 4 years. It is high time for a new U.S. Senate with new leadership. We need U.S. senators who are devoted to public service and not just wielding and weaponizing power. We need senators who will support the Biden-Harris administration and pass legislation. That is why the African American and Latino American communities must exert our power and vote in the Georgia U.S. Senate runoffs for Warnock and Ossoff. By voting for Warnock and Ossoff, we will help to ensure the success of the new administration. Both Rafael Warnock and John Ossoff are ideal to lead our country. Warnock and Ossoff are both legacies of Atlanta's own and America's best, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Congressman John Lewis. Reverend Warnock is a graduate of Morehouse College, pastor of the prestigious Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, and a champion of liberation theology, analogous to King. Ossoff interned for Congressman Lewis as a teenager, learning from this icon. Both Warnock and Ossoff will build upon the legacies of Dr. King and Congressman John Lewis. Like Dr. King and Congressman Lewis, Warnock and Ossoff have the interests of the people in mind. They believe in servant leadership, progressive policies, and improving the lives of everyday people. Warnock and Ossoff will address issues that are important and disproportionately affect our communities: health, jobs, and justice. We live in a moment when we need leadership who are truly concerned about these challenges and will develop solutions. Unlike our current Republican U.S. Senators, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, Warnock and Ossoff will work for the best interests of Georgians and not just for their own personal financial interests. Furthermore, Warnock and Ossoff will use their power and platforms to get something done. Georgia and America can no longer afford to have representatives in office who fail to legislate. We need U.S. senators who understand their role and responsibility as legislators and who will work to pass laws that improve our everyday lives. Yes, African Americans and Latino American Georgians must vote in the Georgia runoff election. We must vote like our lives depend upon it because they do. As a state with the least insured and most affected by the coronavirus, Georgians need health care. As a state with high unemployment rates, Georgia needs jobs. And as a state where the justice system disproportionately impacts the Black and Brown communities, Georgians need justice. In addition to these issues, we must vote to end the obstructionism of Senator McConnell. Over the last 10 years, Senator McConnell has proven over and over again that the interests of the American people is not his priority. Moreover, considering how he and other Senate Republicans have been obstructing the transition of the Biden-Harris administration, how do you think they will operate in 2020 and beyond? Lastly, we must vote to ensure that the Biden-Harris administration has the opportunity to accomplish their agenda for Americans, to build back better. In November, the African American and Latino American communities accomplished an amazing feat by electing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Our mission, however, is not complete. We must remain intentional and focused on our goal to move America forward. And the best way to do so is to exercise our political power and vote in the runoff election for Warnock and Ossoff. Our communities cannot afford to be passive or sit out during these important runoff elections. If we want change, we must be a part of that change by voting. We must continue to break voting records by getting out to vote in this runoff elections. If you know of anyone living in Georgia, contact them today to encourage them to vote. It is by controlling the U.S. Senate and creating a supportive political environment that will ensure the success of the Biden-Harris administration. So let's show up and vote for Rafael Warnock and John Ossoff so that the Biden-Harris administration can show out.
A special thank you to the incredible team of the Empowerment Zone. Terry Ann Gully, theme song. NADWorks, digital support.
If you enjoyed my podcast, please subscribe. We are on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Be sure to rate us on Apple Podcasts too. Thank you for your continued support.